Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock, and yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Friday, guys. I'm sure you guys are prepping for your weekend. I want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as seasoned. I got a word for you. In fact, it's an email response. So, and I have the email pulled up. It's pretty long, so I'm just going to kind of summarize it. But basically, well, I won't say her name. If she wants to comment, that's definitely, fine, up to her. But she's 28. And yeah, so her first part of her email, she's just, her rawness. You guys know I love real and rawness. Like, that's just me. Give it to me how it is, because I'm going to give it to you how it is, right? So she found me through Pastor R.C. Blake's channel. You guys know I'm crazy about Pastor R.C. Blake's. So she found me through Pastor R.C. Blake's channel. I think he shared one of my recordings and she saw it. And so she said, in all honesty, when she first saw me, she thought your girl was a little too sexy, right? Girl, a little too sexy to be over here talking about God. Too exotic, that type of thing, right? Cool, I get it to it. Listen, I'm going to explain. However, as she continued to listen to me, right, she then determined, like, she was checking for your girl, like, for real. Like, she's really, really, really checking for your girl. And in fact, she gets very excited when she sees a notification that I have a recording coming up. She also saw my birthday video with me in my bikini, and she said, your girl look good, right? Now, mind you, this going from a person who was first judgmental on a video that I had a dress on showing maybe too much legs to a bikini video, and she thinks your girl look amazing. So what a transition, right? So through my recordings, she also learned that she's an empath, and she just loves the way I quote unquote carry myself. And so that's pretty much it, to sum it up, that first part. And the second part, it's something with her family. Obviously she's a chosen one. She's an empath. She's a chosen one, so it feels like her family's toxic. They're just not really feeling her or don't understand her, and she's just having a difficult time with that. So I'm going to address that as well. All right, so first things first. Let's talk about all the sexiness up over here, right? Let's talk about all the sexiness up over here. Okay, guys. Many of you really don't know me. Some of you do. But I've always, all caps, always have been very, very confident about who I am as a person, right? I've always known that I was different. I've never wanted to fit in. I walk to the beat of my own drum. So my style and my swag is all me. It's not about me trying to look like modern day people or none of that stuff. This is just who I am. And anyone who's been to school with me can, verify this in the comment section. You're free to do so. I've just always had this edge about myself. Next, never, all caps, never have I ever, or nor anyone can ever say that I'm one of these people to say, oh, I'm this perfect, holy, sanctified Christian and da-da-da-da-da. Never. And I will never allow anyone to put that on me. I've been always honest and authentic about being in a process. Now, I know a few people who said, like, they kind of heard the call of God and they kind of just went from this to that overnight, right? And I respect that. Maybe some people do. But I also know that several people, including myself, it's a process, a long one at that. It's almost like God is like pacing you along, right? And so in saying that, I also remember, I said this in my conference video also, many years, well, maybe about 5 years ago, I literally got a download, right? And I heard God said, whatever you do, don't ever allow anyone to change you, right? Which I was already good with that, because, your girl like herself. I was already good with that. So that wouldn't be a struggle for me. And the reason why I believe God said that to me during that time was because he strategically uses me. And it is so important for people to understand that, again, God uses people differently. Everyone is not going to be used, in the church with, Mary, Mother Mary, and black stockings and white shoes, respectfully, or our deacon such and such with his brute on, respectfully. I love Mother Martha and Deacon whoever. I love you all. But my point is, everyone is not going to be used that way. I have had I love like having conversation with like homeless people and things like that, and even some people who may be like strung out on some stuff, right? If you have a conversation with some of these people, these be some of the realest people you will ever meet. Some of these people love God so much, and God will in turn, use their words to bless you with something that you need. But because so many people are conditioned to think that God only uses people who looks like Mother Mary and Deacon Steve, right? Or Deacon Lionel, that's older name. That you're going to end up missing the very word for you. You're going to end up missing even the possibility for you to be able to pour into their lives. Because you're being judgmental, because of your own thought process, because your own insecurities, and because of the way that you were conditioned. And sweetheart, I'm not speaking about you, so please don't take it as I'm speaking about you. I'm speaking as a whole, just as a whole. And so, like, I've just never been that person. I've never been that person who feel like I couldn't get a word from someone because they're standing on the corner, probably drunk. Listen, if that word is for me, that word is for me, right? So you have to be so confident in knowing the way that God uses you. This is why a relationship with God is so intimate and so important, because God will give you certain downloads that religion will not give you. Right? So if God required me not to change, and let's be clear now, that's not to say that God won't require certain change and certain polishing, because he will. He polished me in a lot of areas, believe it or not. And he will continue. But it's all about his pace and his revelation, not about people. And you have to be okay with that. I have a friend. He may comment. Sometimes he do if he hear this particular recording. And the dude is so powerful, right? He's this white guy. He looks so, not white guy as in I'm laughing about that. I'm laughing because I'm about to say he looks so disheveled at times. Handsome guy, but he looks so disheveled at times. Right? Has a massive following. More so less on TikTok, because I think he kind of just joined YouTube not long ago. Massive following, and they love him. This man is so powerful. He is so powerful. Right? And planted. Again, listen, I'm in this process. I'm more like in that, I'm a little past the beginning. I'm kind of stuck in that middle somewhere. I'm like, I'm bridging the gap. But this man is like planted. Know that word frontwards and backwards. Love the Lord. You feel me? And he messaged me one day, because we kind of, message each other back and forth on TikTok about certain things. And he messaged me one day, and I couldn't believe it. His spirit was disturbing. It was almost like his feelings were hurting. I'm not used to seeing him like that because he's so planted, right? And in his message, he was basically, telling me how. Now, keep in mind, he's disheveled. Like, he'll be making videos in the woods. His hair is all over the place. He might have on some camel pants, and he might have on shoes one day. He may not have on shoes one day, right? I love him so much, right? But he's himself. People gravitate towards authenticity, realness, rawness. So he messaged me and he said something in reference to, someone said something to me, and basically in so many words, they were telling him that he needs to like wear suits and like shiny shoes. I think those were his words and not my petty words. I don't know. But he should be wearing like suits and stuff. He's going to be talking about God. And he was like, Kizzy, that's just not who I am. It's just not who I am. And I told him, I said, listen, you better not. If you change for someone, me and you're going to have a problem. People will criticize you and judge you judge you based on their own insecurities. It is so easier for people to judge you than to face their own issues and their own insecurities. That's really what it's all about. In generational conditioning. So you grew up in a home where, respectfully, you were in church 7 days a week, and religion has taught you that you got to wear head wraps and you got to wear dresses down on your ankles, and you can't show skin, and you can't do this and you can't do that, and you don't listen to anybody, and you hate gay people, and you hate this person, the person, not the sin. You hate gay people, and you hate this and you hate that. That's all religion. God is love. Do you think God is worried about what somebody got on? You think God is worried about this person is a homeless person on the corner begging for money? Those are the people that God really uses. If you take the time to have a conversation with like a homeless person who's like really been through some things, like these people, these really be the deep people. I will sit down all day and have conversation with homeless people and people who may be struggling out in these streets and stuff. Can't judge people. That's a trick of the enemy. Now look how, and back to you, sis, look how you were wise enough and obedient enough to say, I'm going to watch a second recording. And now you checking for your girl, and I'm checking for you too, boo. You checking for your girl. Discovered that you're an empath and discovered so much things, quote unquote, about yourself. God is so good. But I'm telling you, this is why I always tell people you got to build your confidence and you got to build your self-esteem. You can't put confidence on it's internally, because when people want to prejudge or misunderstand, you will just it will be like it will just flow off of you because you know who you are. You can only be shook if you're struggling with your true identity. You can only be shook if you are being something that you're not. Someone has made you this way. Someone has told you this is the lane you're supposed to be in. Right? So you're not even confident. You're just there because you're struggling with confidence and you're struggling with all these other stuff. So you allow people to put you somewhere. So guess what? When that first wind blow, it's gonna blow you down. It's gonna knock you over because that ain't even your lane. So once you build this confidence internally, and most importantly, have that intimate relationship with God, God will drop nuggets in your spirit that only you and God know. So I don't care about these men. Listen, if I'm in a room and you're missing a message because, some legs, there's some lima bean and cornbread up over here, right? So these, if you're missing the message because your flesh is weak, I ain't the problem. You're the problem. Because put me in a room with somebody who may be who I deem to be attractive, or someone who may be a crackhead, and they got a word for me. I'm going to kill this flesh right quick because I need this word. So I ain't got time to be worried about what you thinking in the flesh. That's strategic anyway, because you can come to me in the flesh, which happens 25,000 times a day, right? I'm going to hear you out. You're going to be respectful, but I'm going to hear you out. And when you finish, I'm about to light that spirit up. So by the time you leave me, you ain't Mahala no more. You ain't Mahala no more. You calling me about, when the next time you going to church? And I'm going to tell you, the church is not the building, boo. So God is a strategic God. So hey, listen, I promise you, I don't hear that often, if I'm honest. Like how you approach it with some realness and some respect. I don't hear it often, I guess, because most people just know that they can look at me and just know that I'm very secure in who I am, so they don't bother me, I guess. When I do hear it, when it's jealousy, not realness like how you presented it. When it's jealousy, I can be, let's say I'm at an event and I'm speaking or I'm doing something or whatever, and it maybe looks like I get too much attention is on me. First of all, you if you're sitting in an event worried about somebody else getting more attention than you versus the word and seeing how they move the crowd, honey, you got work to do. You're the problem here. You're the problem here. So it may be some of those, emails, anonymous email. You think you're all of that. You think, girl, okay, all right. I'm gonna pray for you, sis. So it may come more in like that jealousy form, but I check them quick. I don't even deal with that too often either. Sometimes I just leave them. Sometimes I just let them go. It just depends, because everything don't even need to be checked, right? So it just depends. It just depends. All right, so yeah, but ultimately to this first half, I thank you. I thank you for your realness. I thank you for your rawness. I thank you for being open minded enough to come back and listen to a second recording, and now you're here for good. Also in this email, I see again you said that basically you were raised, I'm going to guess that you were raised to be Christian. I'm not exactly sure, but from my understanding, you're saying that you had to literally cover yourself, I'm assuming from head to toe. You said now you have a very difficult time even trying to wear shorts, because your family, maybe some friends, is critical of just wearing shorts even when it's hot during the summertime. Now, I will say this here. I always tell people, take it to your source. Take it to your source. Talk to God about it. He'll let you know how to deal and handle this. Anything that we've been doing for a lifetime. Obviously, you're 28, so this has been going on all of your life. That's going to be difficult because, again, it's conditioning. So anything that we've been conditioned to do all of our lives is going to be hard. So this is why you find it hard to wear shorts in the summertime, even though you want to. Don't feel bad about that. Don't feel bad about feeling bad. Don't feel bad about feeling uncomfortable. You were conditioned to cover your body from head to toe. So when you talk to God, what he will do, or may do, I should say, is he will start to reveal certain things to you. If it's his will that he doesn't want you covered from head to toe any longer, right? I mean, he may just say, well, start wearing capris, right? Capris, which comes like below the knees, and then some time go on, then he might. So it's a problem. Then you may get to the point where you're comfortable with shorts, but don't go from, or you can't go from literally looking like a mummy, respectfully, being wrapped all the way around to shorts. That's kind of like, that's kind of fast. So you might want to just ask God to strategically pace you and to give you courage in direction. And he will, sis. He will, sis. He will. I don't know. He may say he wants you covered from head. So I don't know. That's why I always say you go to your source and get your information, not people, not even family. Go to your source. So, yeah. So to the second half of the recording, basically you believe like your family is very toxic. They don't understand you. They're not supportive. You're really having a difficult time with them. I've never had anyone to talk to except through you. So, well, listen, first and foremost, toot your own horn right there. Toot your own horn right there, because, you have people who make excuses and feel like, well, I've never had anybody, so I'm just going to just not do anything. And I'm not going to, but you took it upon yourself to start learning through YouTube, and getting to find the people that you gravitate towards on YouTube, and you're learning. You say you're having a great time. You're learning so much from Pastor R.C. Listen, I'm telling you, right? Pastor R.C. Blakes is something. I told him last week. I said, Pastor, I know you're anointed, but I often wonder if you know how anointed you are. Pastor R.C. Blakes is something serious. Something serious. I just told him that last week. He laughed and he said, you know what it is, Kizzy? It's the Holy Spirit. So you see how he does not take the credit for himself, but it's the Holy Spirit, right? So you, sis, if you listen to Pastor R.C. Blakes, then you listen. You couldn't be listening, in my opinion, you couldn't be listening to anyone better. You did say you listened to someone. Now, I don't know who this person is, and I think it's Kevin, is it Ywin? It's Yewin. Ewan? Maybe? I've never heard of him. Let me check him out. So good. So good. All right, let me tell you something right quick about family. And of course, this is not everybody. This is not all family. Obviously, you believe you are the chosen one. You know, you're an empath and you're a chosen one and all that good stuff. Most times, or should I say sometimes, you will always feel like the odd one in the family. You're chosen. You're chosen. So that means you stand out. You're different. You don't fit in with no one else. This is why the chosen ones are usually alone a lot of the times, or they feel alone. You're chosen. So they're not going to understand a lot of the things. And you didn't say this, but I'm kind of alluding to, you know, because if you're saying now you want to wear shorts and things like that, maybe they don't understand that you're starting to pull away and kind of wanting to do your own thing. And you're starting to separate from that conditioning. That's probably could be one thing. But here's what I've also learned too. Many times, the chosen ones are also the ones to go forward and break generational curses, generational conditioning, generational norms, all that stuff. So it's almost like you're going to have to learn to be okay with them not understanding you. And I know that's going to be hard if you are someone who struggled in the area of confidence and self-esteem. You didn't state that, but what I have realized in my life is that when someone who have been kind of forced to dress a certain way or forced to live a certain way, even though that's not something that they ever wanted to do, you will sometimes struggle with finding your own voice, and that can lead to insecurities and things of that nature. So I would say first, you're going to have to definitely work on establishing that confidence and that self-esteem through, you know, increasing and gravitating more with your relationship towards God. You're going to have to really start asking God to give you grace to guide you and lead you from step to step. Sometimes God may pull you away from your old environment and take you somewhere else where he can work on you solo and get you built up solo. And within that isolation process, he will then start to reveal to you your purpose and your true purpose and your true calling, and however he wants to use you. If he wants to still keep you covered, if he wants you to start showing some legs, respectfully, I'm just having fun. And then once he starts to really work on you, what's going to happen is, because you are always the chosen one to begin with. And hear me, guys. You guys know when I say chosen, it's just pretty much the one who answered the call. Because some people can really get triggered by that and think like, well, what do you mean? There's one chosen one in the family. No, listen. We all get called at some point. Did you answer the call? And will you answer the call is the question. So that's what I mean. And I know you guys know that, but someone got triggered by that. Like, what do you mean chosen one? Why you have to be the chosen one? Why I'm not the chosen one? Boo, you can be chosen too. Just answer the call. Get up off of your girl neck. Answer the call. We all are chosen, just in different areas. Guys, my cleaners are here. You probably hear that. I'm in my basement, but you probably hear that vacuum upstairs and them rambling upstairs. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that. And I clean my own house, but it's a deep cleaning. I told you guys I had some construction work done with the ceiling or something, and that dust got everywhere. So they're dealing with that for me. So, and once God starts to work on you, sis, what will happen sometimes is the people that you had to leave, and the people who may think like, oh, you're all that now because you get to move away, or because God is blessing you and you think you're all that. God will allow your light to shine so through that they will want to know more. It's almost like, wow, so you pulled away and you maybe relocated, or if that's what it is, you relocated or I'm seeing, wow, God bless you with a beautiful marriage, and now you're seeing like you're in a season of abundance. What did you do? And what happened is they'll start to follow your lead. And so you will probably be required to go back and help some of them. That's really what it's all about. But I've learned in life sometimes it's hard to flourish in that environment that is a toxic environment, and toxic not so much in bad, just conditioning. And sometimes you don't even realize how toxic it is until you leave the environment. And so you have to be mindful to, when God is processing you and developing you, what will feel very natural is you want to go back and go back and pull people up before you are fully developed. That's very detrimental. Very, very. Because you're not even stabilizing your footing yet. So it's natural for us to want to go back and help family and help longtime friends and stuff. Because it's almost like, oh, okay, I'm coming up some. Let me come back and get for it. And before you know it, they're pulling you back down. So you want to get established first, right? Let God get you in honey. Honey. Get ready for the ride of your life. Get ready for the ride of your life. Just gonna be honest. Get ready for the ride of your life. But you're the chosen one. You're an empath, so you're used to this. You're used to this anyway, right? You're used to it. But I get a lot of emails about family and friends. Here's the thing, guys. I mean, we only know what we know. We gotta understand, especially in our community. I mean, come on, we came from, so many generational norms and conditioning to the point that it's almost like when you get a view of the other side, you kind of want to judge the others. No, you just got to thank God that you were the one who made it out, and that you can go back and help them and show them and teach them. So don't become judgmental. And I know it feels like you want to like hate them. Well, I don't think you said use the word hate, but it's only because they don't understand you. I learned long time ago, not from my family, but through like just a lot of the pettiness of jealousy and stuff like that from people. It's not that people dislike you. They dislike what they can't understand. So because they can't understand you, they can't put their finger on you. They can't figure you out. You're so mysterious. They can't tap into that because they're not a chosen one. So they can just see the favor on your life, and then it turns into like jealousy. But once they take the time and move all that flesh out the way and really get to know you like you did me, you move that flesh aside and you kept listening and you got to know me. You see? So don't disregard them. Just know that you got work to do. You got to pull away. Talk to God first. You may have to pull away. God will again strengthen you, get you situated, and then, your light will shine so bright that they will want that same light. And you may have to go back in and, family's family, But sometimes, listen, sometimes you will meet people. Well, let me just leave that right there. But God will put people in your path, during that journey. He will place people to really help you. They will be strangers most of the time, complete strangers. And but as I keep looking at your email, I feel prophetically like you got some major blessings coming. God got some major blessings coming for you. I feel like successful marriage, successful wherever you're going in your career or your calling. I feel in my spirit it's grand. It's grand. But you're going to have to pull away. It cannot be built within the environment that you're currently in. So start your process. Process. Be gentle with yourself. Don't give up on yourself because it's going to get tough. Just keep moving forward. Don't worry about the past. Don't worry about who says what, who may think this. You just keep moving forward. You may feel alone, but I promise you, you're okay with being alone anyway if you're an empath. But God will start to bring people who's literally designed for your destiny, right? He will put people in the path to help you along the way. So just start, sis. You're 28. You got plenty of time. So kudos to you. And thank you for your realness and your authenticity. And thank you for being a subscriber. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.